Using leftovers means these cash-strapped charities don't have to buy as much food.
We have started working on natural green structures for living.
You know, that's why I dress silly like this. We're also a morale wagon. Try to be a mobile morale troop. A lot of people have asked.
On the vegetables in these raised planters here. The idea being just to go more upright on these frames and on the canes, having the espalier apple trees on this dividing fence here.
Yes, that's how we start things off. I'm Darren Howard.
I'm Robert Nisbet.
And I'm Kendra Cooper.
It is so good to be here today because we're talking about real people just like yourself who stand up, say, I'm not going to take it anymore, and take control in their own hands and feed people.
Well, you can't wait for the government to step in when disaster strikes.
Beautiful direct action.
Never, ever going to happen. The government is not interested in helping you. We are. Let's run a clip. These are real people.
I decided I was just going to do this. So I was a chef for a long time. I did catering. That's how I knew how to start a kitchen in a truck. We flew from Seattle to Philly, and we drove to Union Beach, where a couple of people had already scouted the area and determined that there was a great need that wasn't being filled here. And so now we turned our U-Haul into the You Hungry Cafe, and we drive around, honking the horn, shouting, hey, you hungry? We got hot food, we got hot coffee, hot cocoa. We pull up and just like there's this sense of like, oh my God, desperation. Oh my God, hot food. We don't have any power. We don't have appliances. Even if they do have power, they don't have a stove to cook on. We're a hospitality wagon. That's why I dress silly like this. We're also a morale wagon. Try to be a mobile morale troop. A lot of people have asked us, well, who are you with? Well, we're not with anybody. We're with ourselves. I tell people, we're with you. Well, who said you could do this? Well, who said I couldn't do it? Right? It's just kind of the mentality that we all have. Because there's professional organizations that do relief work and that's all that people know, then they start to think, okay, well, I don't really need to actually do anything. It kind of creates a barrier between ordinary people doing what's right. And I think that's where we fall short. FEMA, Red Cross, Salvation Army, they can only be so many places. They can only do so much. But if you just have the inclination to go do something, go do it. If you know you're doing good, if you know it's going to help people, go do it. And wait for someone to tell you, stop, you can't do it, and then say, well, why? What law am I breaking? What harm am I doing by helping people out? Being of service is the highest honor. So anything I can do to be of service. That's what we are. We're just your neighbors from the West Coast. Coast to coast, we're all one.
And that's the way you do it. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Yes?
I love that.
Yeah, that is so cool.
And
in action.
Listen to him say it. People walk up and say, who are you with?
We're with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not some imaginary World Vision Fund.
I function without bureaucracy.
Yes. I'm
Major
actually
threat to bureaucracy. That's why they try to stop you.
That's why. Because, you're feeding people, you're helping out, and you're also exposing the liars and cheats and freeloaders in government who say we're here for you, who leave 1 in 5 Canadian children to go hungry, 1 in 4 American children to go hungry. That's the government protecting them?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But at least some people are making a difference and are teaching children about food and how to look after themselves.
One of the major reasons why I love working around here, we've got an edible playground. You've got it right here. It's Radio Free Canada. Thanks for joining the winning team.
The school wasn't full, and it's such a good little school, and we wanted to tell the community how good the school was. But also, most of the children live in flats with no outside space, and they didn't know where their food came from. And the big idea that we came up with was the edible playground.
Welcome to Rotherfield Edible Playground here. We grew a lot of vegetables in these raised planters here. The idea being just to go more upright on these frames and on the canes, having the espalier apple trees on this dividing fence here. And there's the courgette over here, which they love because they've got the edible flowers on it, which they find very funny.
I've been watering the courgettes and tomatoes. I like planting.
I like digging up the weeds and digging in the new seeds.
The children use it not just for gardening workshops. Any activity that the school can undertake that's linked to the national curriculum, they can use the garden.
Children are learning about maths and English. They're able to write about the garden. In calculating the number of plants that go into a raised bed, they're using their math.
We're currently creating a kitchen
where the children can take what they've grown in the garden and cook with it and learn different recipes. This playground has been transformed from very grey and dull to a really beautiful garden.
For the first time, the school is not only full, it's got a waiting list.
One of the main successes, I think, is actually working with the school that shared the same vision as Trees for Cities. It goes beyond one garden. The model that we've created with Rotherfield School can be rolled out across any school across the UK.
It's a really major commitment in terms of time and resources, but the benefits are enormous.
So while the wacko nut bar right-wingers prevent kids from bringing superhero t-shirts and lunchboxes to elementary schools, did you hear about that?
Yeah, no. I mean, I hear about like the finger gun.
Yes.
But
I mean, these guys are so alarmist now they don't want them to idolize heroes because it might create
violent thoughts or something.
Actually, it's
know.
independent thinking that they're trying to avoid. These guys,
they're trying to promote independent thinking. They're actually teaching kids to take care of themselves.
Where does food come from? Us.
How do you grow it?
There you go. Remember, aquaponics is 10 times more efficient than regular commercial Monsanto-based grocery production. Those programs are not getting put into major municipalities that need jobs because we have Safeway. And now we have an elementary school that's upsetting the apple cart, and I'm sure there was a lot of flack with those guys doing that. Okay. Because you can hear those right-wingers going, we need to support a fascist economy because that's the way it's done.
Here are the rules.
Yeah, here are the rules.
Yeah.
At any rate, that's my faith in the general right-wing.
There's no difference. Right-wing, left-wing, same thing.
Yes.
To be honest, there is no, there's no right-wing. There's no partisanship.
Yes. That editorial opinion was brought to you by a guy who's actually informed.
Yeah.
Remember, don't take our word for it, okay? Make sure you use your own intellect, check our sources and stuff like that. And when we're ranting like crazy people, please pay attention to the nice, pretty pictures you're seeing on the screen right now. Okay. No, I'm the guy who I just rant and then maybe I should not rant.
Well, you're good at it.
Oh, well, thank you. You're good at it, too.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's kiss each other's butts later and run this thing now.
Self-Sustaining Communities is a charitable nonprofit serving the community in Richmond, California. Richmond has serious challenges like many inner-city environments. We're working to create whole, sustainable neighborhoods that involve the survival needs for food, energy, shelter, and social inclusion in green and organic ways. We've passed out more than 13,000 fruit, nut, and olive trees. We've set up 4 urban farms in various locations. We have started working on natural green structures for living and for urban farm environments.
I cannot even afford to eat healthy, and a lot of us can't. And we know our children need much as healthy food as they can. So this is a term that we can train and teach them the importance of gardening. And then I'd be able to pick it up and go knock on the elderly's door and say, look what I brought you out of the garden. And I know that'll bring a big smile on their face.
I am on parole. I was a homeless veteran. I was on the streets, living in my car. I think the animals understand me better than people. I like it a lot. I think that this is a very powerful space with incredible room for growth.
So for electrifying your neighborhood, there's grow food, not lawns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Permaculture programs all over the planet. Aquaponics is out there. One of the reasons why we experience such poverty is that 90% of the population used to be involved with food production and handling, and now only 3% are.
Well, we're good at ordering out.
Yes, we're excellent at ordering out. So every time you see a Safeway truck, every time you see a Circa truck, one of the food trucks delivering to a restaurant, they're creating poverty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and we're producing for profit and not for need.
Yes. So. Okay. And that's ludicrous because we have enough food on the planet every year to feed 7 billion people.
I should think so. We throw so much away.
That's right. The average American, the average Canadian, believe it or not, is throwing away 7 to 15% of their food every year.
Wow.
They just chuck it. Okay, and I can't think of anything more offensive.
I know. At least somebody else had that same thought and decided he should step up and do something about it.
You know, sometimes when we're not babbling like idiots, right? We actually segue correctly into a next segment. That was perfect, Rob.
You had to go and root it, though, didn't you?
You're doing a great job, Rob. You are.
This is a very good bean dip.
Hummus and focaccia bread are on the menu at the inner city parish. 5-star fare that isn't always available. Arlen Preblood opened his mind to the idea of providing this kind of gourmet menu to people in need.
Anytime you can give back to the underserved in the community.
Morning.
For me, it's just a tremendous feeling.
And a lot of good stuff for you today. Great.
The fancy delicacies came from the Palm restaurant. Arlen picked them up in the morning.
What else we got?
Cream of potato soup.
Really good stuff
Roasted garlic.
that would go to waste.
That'll make everyone happy.
It's not tough to spot Arlen. He drives a Pabst Blue Ribbon van, a donation from a distributor.
Oh, you take what you get in this business, and you never say no. On our way up there, we'll be there in about 5.
Arlen never says no to any extra food from restaurants or caterers. He drives all over town, picking up the food and delivering it to nonprofits.
They're getting wholesome, nutritional, restaurant-grade food that they've never had on any consistent basis in the past. Potato.
It used to be all this food was thrown away. Liability and food safety issues kept it from being used.
Today. Wonderful.
The Good Samaritan Act releases Arlen from liability, and the fact that he picks it up and immediately delivers preserves the freshness. Using leftovers means these cash-strapped charities don't have to buy as much food.
My
You're an
pleasure.
angel. You're our angel. And it has saved our program a ton of money. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Super. We'll see you tomorrow.
Saving money and preserving food is exactly why Arlen calls his organization We Don't Waste. Suzanne McCarroll, CBS 4 News.
And honestly, I would choose a job like that over a regular wage job.
Any day.
Any day of the week, okay?
Yeah.
Because you're actually helping people.
Yeah.
You're not like some freeloader, like the cops and the bylaw officers who are just generating revenue by enforcing poverty.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yes, there are some good cops and there are some good laws, but when you're only talking about 10% of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But that's a rough estimate. I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I believe we have new federal laws coming too, but that's for another day.
Yeah.
Are we going to get into that? Are you actually going to open up that?
Not today.
Oh,
Not today.
gosh.
That's for another broadcast.
But really, we do have some excellent programs right now. We have the Municipal Sustainability Program, which we've been ramping up. We've taken out a year to study the problem of poverty. And in that study, we discovered that if we start handling our own food, we're going to get ourselves out of poverty in our municipality. This can work in any municipality, so we're going to open source it.
And serve as an example.
That's right. Okay, so because the poverty and the fascism is so bad in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, where we're recording this, we think that this is an ideal community to start digging it out.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of weird fascists standing in the way.
That we do.
Okay. I mean, there's racists that stand against us. There's pro-statists that stands against us. Anti-anarchists that stand against us. Wait a second. Who's standing with us? The other 99%.
That's right. But it's you're never too young.
Yeah. No, you're never too young
to start being an activist.
There you go. I'm Darren Howard.
I'm Robert Nisbet.
And I'm Kendra Cooper.
Well, we go right off the rail of any type of corporate radio whatsoever. We do remind you that Freeloaders is a documentary coming up September the 15th, talking about church, banks, and government. We're also doing Warriors and Thieves, talking about the 10 years after the Iraq War. And then next segment, we're going to let Kendra talk a bit.
All right. Sounds good.
She just makes us sound good.
She does.
It is ear candy. We've got it, but we want you to stay on the winning team and make sure you check our facts. We're not going to make commercials that say trust us because you got a brain cell. You're listening to Radio Free Canada. We're going to be right back. Just hang on.